Hey guys, how are you? I am Janet Holmes and I am going to be doing some gilding for you guys today. This is going to be probably two-part tape. I started earlier today and I had a little issue with my video, so I'm going to get it finished up right now. I've got this super cute miniature commode, as it was called way back when. It's a nightstand. And it's French Provincial. It's really cute. Let me just give you a quick view of it. And so I have started the gild on my first video, and now I'm going to finish it. I did the doors. It has a grid that goes over it, and I don't know that I'm going to put the grid back on, but I did the doors, and I am going to gild this little tiny center strip. So let's see, I had some gild strips fall out of my book, but this is what I got so far. And gilding's very easy. Let me just show you. You peel the page back. I am using Amy's Gold Leaf. So you peel the page back and you want to hold it by the top of the book so that the leaves, the pieces of gold leaf don't fall out. And then what you want to do, as you can see, they're very light and airy and they sort of fly away, so you want to kind of keep track of them and you want to hold them. You know what? I'm going to have to pull this out. These doors are not secure, so. And then what you do is you just press it down, because I'm doing the center part. So there you go. Press it in, and then you go to the next one. Super easy. A lot of people don't like to gild. They think it's really hard. It's not. I will say, you know, you do have some waste with gild because that's just the nature of it. You know, when you're using the sheets, you know, you cut them so big, and you know, but I'm going to tell you, it really does make the dresser look awesome. I mean, anything that you gild, it just makes it pop. It gives it a little bit of a regal look. It's not hard, it's not expensive, and it really does change the look of something. So there's the 3 sheets, and we'll clear those off in a minute. I'll show you how to clean it off. And then, so let's slide around here to this side and get this side done. Hopefully you can see well, and hopefully you can hear me well, because I have left my mic on my job from last week. But let's work up here. I'm doing these little areas here, really one strip. So you just burnish it in somewhat, push it down so it's on there, and you fold it back. Go to the next page, hold the top of the book, lay it where you want it, and then you just kind of push it in, pull back. And you know, when you have these little pieces that fall, you can still use them. It's not, you know, you just place them where you want them, like so. But this is what happens when you don't, you know, hold the book tight. And I've had a lot of pieces just sort of fall out, so we'll just reuse some of these pieces. We're just going to put it on there and push it down. So that's where I am, and I'm going to gild the bottom of this foot, this little tiny strip here at the bottom, and here. And you can see it's kind of shiny because I've already put some size on there. I started with some gilding size right here. This is Amy's gilding size. This is the gild glue, and it works great. I put it on with a very small brush, which I will show you here in a second, but you just hold it at the bottom and the top, and you just lay your leaf down. loose piece, which is probably not going to behave. So we're just going to take it out and use it. We'll put it right here. You know, you want to be careful using your hand because your hands can be sticky. They can have oils on them, or glue for that matter, and it can make a terrible mess. But I am used to gilding, so I'm okay with that. We're going to just take it, put it down here, try to cover this part of the leg. Sometimes it does stick and make a mess, but you just have to work around it. This little piece came out, so we're going to reuse it. Piece here. Let's go ahead and use this one. Just tap it down in there. And then what I'll do is take Amy's 1.5 inch chip brush. And what I'll do is just knock off all the loose leaf that I don't want on there. I cut these a little more narrow than the last ones because there was a lot of waste. And I mean, you do have waste with gold leaf. It's just the nature of it because how you cut your leaf and the size that you cut it. You know, because these sheets come, if you've not worked with gold leaf, they come the size of this container. And what I do is I take a pair of scissors and cut off the amount, the size of the book that I want. So you want to keep the book part that's bound, you always want to keep that together. And then you just cut it and you work from this part of the book. Like I am with this one, you just peel back the pieces you're not using and take them off, and then you work from this part of the book. So we'll peel this back like so. We'll go to here, and then we're going to work from that part of the book. I got a little piece that broke off, so we'll just stick that on there. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect science. But when it's all done and burnished, I do go over it with some steel wool because I do like a little bit of an old age worn look. So I don't like it necessarily shiny and new looking. I like it kind of old and worn looking, so I do go over it with some 4/0 steel wool. So we're just going to put this down here. And it did come apart, so we're just going to make it work. A little bit left in this book, so we're going to use the end of this piece here. But I've got a couple little pieces of books up here and stuff. But then what I usually do when I get it kind of like that is I will take my tissue, leftover tissue, and I just kind of give it a little burnish, kind of like this. I don't push real hard, just enough to make sure that it's stuck and that it's pressed into the areas. And you can also take Amy's chip brush and you just kind of want to go against the grain lightly and knock off the excess. You can feel, you know, you have some holidays here where you don't get the glue everywhere. You can feel if it's tacky. And if it's tacky, you can go ahead and lay down some more leaf. Like I know right here there is some glue on this part of the foot because I put it on there so we're just going to push this back down. Make sure we got it. And then when it gets down in these little crevices here, I usually just take a little tiny piece of 500 grit sandpaper, and I usually just bend it lightly and just stick it on in there. You know, you just want to make sure you're not taking off the leaf there that you've just laid down. And I just lightly sand it, and then when I'm all done and I've gotten off all the excess, which I will here in just a second. Let's see here. I want to make sure we get that. What I do is I take a piece of steel wool. This is 4/0 steel wool. And this is what it looks like in the bag. You can buy it at any big box store, Home Depot, Lowe's, you know, anywhere like that, even Walmart. When you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you'll find it in the same aisle as the sandpaper, and it's usually on the bottom, like down low. But this is what it looks like, 4 zeros, 4/0. So this is the kind of steel wool you want to be using. It is the finest. So it's the best to use with this kind of stuff. But what I normally do is I just, once I've gotten all the excess gild off, you know, I just knock it down like so. And then I take my steel wool and I just lightly wear it back, because I like it to look as if it's been on there for 100 years, you know. And so, you know, if you've got a real antique that you're putting this on, and you know, different pieces of furniture have different looks. You might want to do something, put it on something modern, and so therefore you might want it really shiny. But with this, I want it to look like it's been aged over a period of time and worn naturally. So, you know, maybe these little tips might wear, or the bottoms of the feet here. Like, I've missed an area. This is a holiday. There's no glue. I will go back and put a little touch of glue on here, because I don't want a whole strip missing necessarily. But this is what I do, and then I just stick this in there, and I get it out of the grooves. I just stick my steel wool in there, and I clean out my grooves. Sometimes I use a toothpick and stick it down in there to get the excess off, but I wear it all back. And I love it this way. This really does make a piece. Just, it makes the whole piece. But it's amazing how the gold leaf really does make the piece just pop. It totally changes the look of the piece. So let's turn it a little bit here. And work here. You know, and if you do the gold leaf and you have areas where there's no glue and you don't like it, you can always take a small artist brush, which I use these kind right here, excuse me. I use these little tiny artist brushes when I'm applying my gild in these tiny little areas. And so you can always go back with a really small one and just dip it in the gild and just go along the edge and go back in there and put another piece of gild, you know, another piece of leaf. It's not really, it's not going to matter, you know, it's not going to look crazy if you wear it back a little bit. You won't even be able to tell. But I like mine kind of, you know, haphazard and not perfect looking. And I do a lot of gold leafing. I do it a lot on pink. I use Palmer pink with it, and it looks gorgeous. But I do quite a bit of it, and I love it. I really do. I think it totally changes the look of something, makes it pop. This feels like it might be a little sticky here. Let's see if we got. But I leave these doors. These are little panels that I did with a stencil and the sizing glue. So what I'll do is clean this all out, and then when I'm all done, I will go over this with a really fine, probably like 500 sandpaper, just to get any imperfections, because there are a few brush marks and rough areas. But this is the panel door that I took off, and I painted it with Vintage Affliction. Painted the inside with Vintage Affliction. And I've got a whole set that I'll do, a whole bedroom set that I'm doing this in. But this is so cute. So cute. Look at that. What a cute little set. So that's the gold leafing. It's just so easy to do. A lot of people are afraid of it, but it's just so easy to do. I love it. I think it totally adds to a piece. But there you have it. So I will post my piece when I'm done with it. I do want to touch this up here though, where I've got a huge part of glue missing. The brush must have been dry down here. But on the nightstand, on the commode, I have Meg Made paint. So let's do a quick recap here. I've got Meg Made paint. This is an Amy Howard product. She's partnered with Meg Made at home. So I've got that on the body, and then on the inside, I have Vintage Affliction. I love this color. Love, love, love this color. And on the doors is Vintage Affliction. I'm going to lightly sand with 500, and then I will not sand my gold leaf though. I will just clean up the areas in here where it's, you know, some overleafing, so to speak. And then on the top, I have a Maker's Studio gel stain. I have Windsor Gray and Kensington Black, and what I did was I mixed 1.5 teaspoons of the Windsor Gray and 1/2 teaspoon of the Kensington Black, and that is right here. I absolutely love this color. It's just almost looks like a good man is hard to find in a glaze. And then what I did was I just put it on the top. I did one coat, and I think I might do one more, but I will show you how pretty this looks. I love these. These are just great, these nightstands. And they were, they were painted. They were the original paint when I got, it's original paint when I got them. But I love the grain in the wood. And they're imperfect. They've got issues like this. But this is how it was. This was a damaged area, and I sanded the heck out of these. And I'm just going to go back over and do another coat, because I like the imperfections in them. I don't necessarily care that they're not perfect, because they're old, and so they do have some imperfections. These actually had a little grid that came over them, came with it. It was a little, of course it's not connected. These came with a little grid door. And I don't know if I'm going to clean it up and put them back. I doubt it. But I do have them, and I may give them to the new owner when I sell them, if they want to put them in. But it has a real cute piece of hardware that goes here, and I haven't done anything. This is the original paint. This is how it came. And I may just put that back on like that. I like it. It almost matches the gilding. So this was what was on the drawer, and that was original. So that's where I am. I'm going to fix these few little holiday areas. Actually, this feels sticky. I may fix these few little areas, but this is kind of how I'm leaving it. You know, I'm going to wax, like I said, sand it. But that's my little nightstand, and I've got a whole set I'm doing, so I hope that helps. And I hope you're not afraid to gild. It's super easy, and it really changes the look. Totally changes the look. Enjoy. Take care now. Bye.